Dr. John was a respected doctor who worked in a hospital. He was a pathologist, which meant he studied dead bodies to find out how they died. One evening, after a long day at work, Dr. John received a phone call from the police. They told him that they had found a burnt body in the woods and needed his help to find out what happened. When Dr. John arrived at the hospital, he saw the burnt body lying on a cold metal table in the morgue. The body was badly burnt, and it was hard to tell who it was. Dr. John looked closely and found 3 bullet wounds in the chest. He realized that the person had been shot before being burned. This made him feel sad and angry. As he worked on the report, a strange phone call came in. A man said he was related to the victim. He offered Dr. John $50,000 to change the report. The man wanted Doctor to say that the person had died from an animal attack instead of a gunshot. Doctor felt tempted by the money. He thought about how it could help his family. After thinking for a moment, Dr. John decided to change the report. He wrote that the victim had died from an animal attack and did not mention the gunshot wounds. After finishing the report, he left the body in the morgue and went to the hospital lobby for a smoke. When he returned, he found the body was gone. Dr. John panicked and checked the hospital's security cameras. He watched in horror as the burnt body stood up from the stretcher and walked out of the morgue. He felt a chill run down his spine. Suddenly, he felt a cold hand on his shoulder. Turning around, he saw the burnt corpse. Its eyes glowed as it whispered, "You lied in your report. I was shot before I was burned. Now I will finish what they started." The next morning, the hospital staff found 2 bodies in the morgue, the burnt corpse and Dr. John, who was cut into pieces as if he had performed a post-mortem on himself. The day after Dr. John's death, another doctor, Dr. Emily, examined the burnt body and discovered the truth. The victim had been shot before being burned. She provided the correct report, and the police launched an investigation. They found that the victim was murdered by his business partner, Thomas Miller, over stolen money. Thomas was arrested, found guilty of murder, and sentenced to life in prison. In the end, justice was served, and the truth finally came to light.